These are creepy TikToks that will make you rethink
Oreos.
your
I didn't know
whole
this.
reality.
Oreos, bro, are satanic. What? In what way? What the f? Yo, check this out. This guy studies like religious symbols specifically.
No way.
On an Oreo, you know how that pattern's on the front?
Yeah, it's like a checkerboard.
It's interesting. It catches your eye. You never really decipher like what is this pattern.
Yeah.
The cross on the Oreo is a satanic cross.
You have no idea how creepy Elvis was. He has a record for going after underage girls. He started dating his wife Priscilla when she was 14. And because she looked so young, he bought her a wardrobe to make her look more like an adult.
Did you see what was happening in Peru, bro? What was happening in Peru? There's a Peruvian village in the mountains that claims they were being attacked for weeks since July 11th by 7-foot tall aliens that were dressed like the Green Goblin. They were 7 feet tall with armor and yellow eyes. This was on the news. The army was there. The cops was there. Supposedly a 15-year-old girl almost got. The locals would shoot at him, but every time they shoot, that will like deflect off.
House in Arlington, Virginia explodes after police reportedly approached it with a search warrant. Damn! I'm back. It's your boy FITTIE to the E, and today we're looking at this compilation together. Grab your water, your popcorn, whatever you want. Just remember to like and subscribe. If you guys like the chain, check the link down in the description. Every single chain right now has free shipping. Think about getting one for maybe your friend or your sibling or just someone you care about for Christmas.
Same man in their dreams, the hatman.
But it's not just those students. Thousands of people all over the world have all claimed to see a tall shadow man with a hat standing over them. And when I say standing over them, I mean standing over them. All of the people who've encountered the Hat Man have all talked about how much they were falling asleep before this happened. What some people don't know is that the Hat Man actually shows himself before a big disaster happens in that same person's life. I believe the Hat Man is just a warning, like somebody who comes to warn you before a big disaster in your life. But wait, there's actually a way to call upon the Hat Man. By placing your hand on the mirror at midnight and repeating the words Hat Man 3 times is said to actually call upon the Hat Man in your house.
I don't think there's any need for me to call upon Hatman. If he's a warning that's gonna tell me something crazy is about to happen in my life, best believe I'm not calling him to me, or I'm not trying to see him. If you guys have ever seen the Hatman, let me know your story.
You have no idea how creepy Elvis was. He has a record for going after underage girls. He started dating his wife Priscilla when she was 14. And because she looked so young, he bought her a wardrobe to make her look more like an adult. She had to wear heavy makeup so she could look older and had to dye her hair black so she could look like Elvis. She said she felt like a doll. Elvis would also invite her child friends over to have underwear parties. Middle and high school girls, like young girls, okay, would stand outside of his house and cheer like, fangirls. And instead of sending them away, he would invite them inside. They would have pillow fights and tickle parties and wrestling sessions. Elvis spent hundreds of dollars buying Polaroid film and taking pictures of these young, minor, underage girls while they were indecent. After his divorce, Elvis tried to convince this nightclub owner to let him raise his 14-year-old daughter and then date her at the same time in Graceland, and the owner declined. This is just the tip of the iceberg though. Let me know if you want to see more.
Nah, that Elvis Presley story was weird. How you gonna be 20 years old plus messing with a 14-year-old? That's insane, bro. That's interesting. I never knew that about Elvis Presley. That kind of like twisted my views on him. That's crazy.
King Tut Mandela effect has just been solved by me. In the King Tut Mandela effect, when I was younger, his sarcophagus only had a snake coming out of his head. Now it's a snake and a bird. Yeah, I guess it's not just a snake, it's a snake and a bird. But not so fast, my friends. Because me, Joe, with the giant cheese head, found something that blows this thing out of the water. Watch this and decide for yourself, Booshkies.
On display in Los Angeles, artifacts from the tomb of King Tut.
Did you all see that? Let's take a closer look. This is from the early 80s, a representation of King Tut's sarcophagus, and it's only got a snake on its head. Where's the bird? Because this thing shows a bird next to the snake on its head. In my universe, there was just a snake. Proof that the King Tut Mandela effect is real, Booshkies. In your reality, did that sarcophagus just have a snake?
They do say that a lot of Mandela effects actually aren't real and we're just the one with the memory lapse. I don't know, if there's millions of people that can recall something and everyone's like agreeing to something, that's a little bit strange. I don't know, what do you think about the Mandela effects? Put your thoughts down in the comments.
Let's talk about more Saw Easter eggs. So I'm sure you remember the Venus flytrap from Saw 2, the one where the guy has a death mask that closes all around his face. And I'm sure you also remember Dr. Gordon from the first movie. He was locked in the bathroom trap. Well, it is revealed in Saw 7 that Gordon has been an apprentice this whole time ever since his bathroom trap was complete. And it's shown that Gordon actually helped out with the Venus flytrap. He actually helped sew the key behind the guy's eye. But I know what you're thinking, like, how well did they really have this planned out? You know, there's like a good gap of movies in between this. Well, not only is Dr. Gordon's coming back hinted at in Saw 6, the movie before this one, but they actually have a little clue hidden in Saw 2, so let me play it for you.
Right now is your own body, not more than 2 hours ago. Don't worry.
Jigsaw plays footage of the eye surgery as it was about to happen.
I'm not gonna lie, Jigsaw is one of my favorite movies. Jigsaw, Saw X. Saw X was the newest one. I recommend watching it. It's 10 out of 10.
Yo, check this out, fam.
What?
If there's 2 people climbing a mountain, I know you weren't with 2 people, but
Yeah, we were 6.
there's this phenomenon called the third climber.
What the fuck?
You heard about this?
God, that
So
third-
a lot of climbers that go with like a duo, they climb a mountain or they go on a huge trek and they come across another climber that guides them and tells them how to complete it. But the moment they complete it, they can't find him.
Like a random person?
Low-key, we saw like a bunch of people, they would say hi to us randomly, but I think that's just Canada.
They're just saying hi, they're saying what's up, bro. They're nice.
There was a couple beside us, and they took some next short route. We couldn't find them on the hike, except we found them at the top.
Oh shit.
It's kind of weird, but
So they like teleported.
no, but low-key, we were like, yo, they just went on the side.
Is it a giant? The story behind this video is extremely unsettling. This video was taken by a TikToker named Andrew Dawson. He's been missing since he posted this on Twitter. At first, one might think it's just a person at the top of a mountain, but the video was shot from several kilometers away. A person of normal size cannot be distinguished at this distance. He returned to the location during the night, but a person from the Secret Services told him to turn back as he was breaking the law. However, it was a public place, so he had the right to be there. He still managed to bypass the people blocking access and took more videos before going back home. What's eerie in this story is that after that, cars followed him, and he claimed these were the same cars that had blocked his way. But this story gained so much attention that some people decided to go to the location themselves and conduct their own investigation. So, there are a lot of videos circulating on the internet where you might see suspicious shapes and helicopters flying around the area, but there's no guarantee that these videos are real. It became even crazier. He made an official statement where he said,
I've actually heard about that story, and apparently they said that he died, which is super crazy. Why did he get sent back by the military when he went up there? Like, what are they hiding on top of that mountain? That's the real question.
Morbidly wholesome facts, part 62. 2 of Kurt Cobain's best friends, Mark Lanigan and Dylan Carson, say that Courtney Love saved their lives after Kurt's death. They were struggling addicts at the time, and Courtney felt that Kurt would want them to be saved. So she decided to support them both morally and financially so that they could go to rehab and turn their lives around. A man's dying wish was to be buried on his Harley Davidson in a glass casket so that his rider friends could see his final ride. If a pregnant mother suffers organ damage, the baby in the womb sends stem cells to repair the damaged organ. While on death row for killing a police officer in 1987, Tennessee man Philip Workman was told to make his last meal request. But instead of a meal for himself, he wanted a pizza to be donated to a local homeless person. His final request was denied, and Workman refused to eat anything before he was executed that night. But the next day, homeless shelters across Tennessee received thousands of donated pizzas from people all over the state honoring Workman's last request.
That's messed up how the prison just didn't donate it to where he wanted to be donated. It's not really that hard. He just wanted like 1 box of pizza donated. The baby creating stem cells for the mom if they have a damaged organ, that is some next level stuff. Like, that is actually one of the craziest things I heard all day.
What if the Tower of Babel was more than just a biblical story? This colossal tower, attributed to the ancient Babylonians, was an ambitious endeavor aimed at reaching the heavens. But could this story hold any historical truth? Recorded in the book of Genesis in the Bible, the tale of the Tower of Babel has intrigued generations. According to the scriptural account, the people of Babylon embarked on constructing a tower that would ascend to the heavens. However, displeased with their audacity, God intervened, causing them to speak diverse languages, leading to their inability to communicate and ultimately abandoning the tower, leaving it unfinished. Though many view this biblical narrative as a myth or allegory, some researchers speculate that the Tower of Babel might have been an actual structure. In antiquity, the city of Babylon, situated in modern-day Iraq, boasted remarkable advancements in architecture and engineering. The city was renowned for its ziggurats, massive stepped pyramids used as religious temples. Hence, some propose that the Tower of Babel could have been a ziggurat either left incomplete or gradually lost to the ravages of time.
These people building it without any sort of like real amazing technology is very, very confusing.
Horror movies, hell yeah. Let's do it. Here's 10 Asian horror movies that you need to watch. And yeah, we're going to exclude Ju-on and The Ring because everybody know about them. Oh yeah, peep the new horror rugs though. These motherfuckers clean. Starting this list off with 2001's Pulse from Japan. A super slow burn movie with a great payoff. And when I say that one go scene, I mean that one go scene. You'll see what I mean when you see it. Next, I got Shudder from 2004 from Thailand. This one got an American remake in 2008. Don't watch that one. Watch the original. When I say this shit creepy as hell, I mean this shit creepy as hell. In fact, there were a lot of scenes in this movie that rivaled The Grudge for me. Next, from Korea, I got Ganjiam Haunted Asylum. If you've seen Grave Encounters, then watch this one. It's literally the same movie, except this time it's in Korea. And the spooky factor was definitely top tier. Next, from Thailand, I got The Medium. This movie takes you on a journey through the entire process of being possessed by a demon. And it's shot like a mockumentary kind of style. Like you following the girl around as she's getting worse and worse. Movie about 2 hours long, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Next, from Japan, I got Noroi the Curse. Found footage flick that you need to tap into. I've suggested this movie a couple times on this channel, but I'm just doing it again. Ending of this movie, creepy as fuck. Sometimes you just need to leave it alone, stop investigating stuff. Next, I got another one from Japan, 1999's Audition. This movie is depraved. If you are squeamish, you might want to skip Audition. Bro thought he found the perfect submissive woman. Nah, she was a nutcase. Next, I got The Sadness from Taiwan. Whoa, this movie had everybody going crazy when it first dropped. Man, listen, this movie had my jaw dropped the entire time. The whole movie, I was like, how can it get any fucking worse? Not even gonna front, The Sadness is like top 3 on this list, bro. Not even lying. Next, we're going back to Korea with Train to Busan, one of the greatest zombie movies of all time. And real quick, a little sidebar. If you want to watch an anime that's very similar to Train to Busan, that can kind of serve as like a prequel, watch Seoul Station. Trust me, you'll like it. With a double Korea feature, man, I got A Tale of Two Sisters. Fun fact, A Tale of Two Sisters actually got an American remake called The Uninvited, but it was not really marketed as an American remake. But trust believe me when I say, these are the same movie. And if you look up Uninvited, it'll tell you that it's a remake of A Tale of Two Sisters. Imagery in this movie was super creepy and uneasy. You'll like this one too. The next one is a recent movie that I watched from Indonesia called Satan's Slaves. The title was not really appealing to me, and I don't really like horror movies that use the word devil or Satan because it's usually lame. But this movie was not one of those movies, bro. Definitely drew a lot of inspiration from Insidious and The Conjuring with a little Asian twist. This movie was definitely creepy. And it got a sequel, but I think the first one is good enough. Oh, and lastly, I got an honorable mention because all these movies, I never mentioned China. So tap in to Incantation. This movie had TikTok going nuts when it first dropped, bro. I think it's a pretty solid flick. You need to check it out. After there, I go 10 Asian horror movies that you need to watch.
I'm not gonna lie, anyone that's ever watched Japanese anime will know that anime is one of the best storytelling shows you could watch. Like honestly, I watch anime, the plots are amazing.
My least favorite Saw trap is the public execution trap from Saw 7. Here's how it works. You have this woman and these two dudes, Brad and Ryan. She's basically two-timing the both of them. It's worth noting these boys were friends before she came into the picture. It's also implied that along with the cheating that's happening here, she's also having the boys do illegal things for her, like shoplifting. Jigsaw sees all this and is like, okay, one of y'all have to die. Basically, these saw blades, there's 3 of them, and it has to go through one of them completely. So the boys have to choose whether they want to off one of themselves or if they want to work together to off her. Obviously, they have a discussion about how the girl is cheating, you know, whatever. In the end, they decide bros before hoes, and they get rid of her. But the reason why I hate this trap is it's in public for no reason. It's the only saw trap to ever happen in a public space. The trap was just set up for a while ahead of time, and nobody calls the police until they start waking up and the trap begins.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Like, why is it in public, and why did no one just be like, yo, why is that guy just creating a trap right there? Like, what the f?
I'll tell you a new story. In 1906, alien ship crushed on Earth. Lab-made animals and unexplained phenomena. A half-robot alien race. Images transmitted into space for eternity from Antarctica.
Why they posted up like a human? Yo, why they posted up like a human? My man had a gun on him. It was like, why they take a picture? That's weird. I don't think aliens would do that.
Favorite cookie? Chocolate chip. My favorite cookie is Oreos. I didn't know this. Oreos, bro, are satanic.
What? In what way? What the?
Yo, check this out. This guy studies like religious symbols specifically.
No way.
On an Oreo, you know how that pattern's on the front?
Yeah, it's like a checkerboard.
It's interesting. It catches your eye. You never really decipher like what is this pattern.
Yeah.
The cross on the Oreo
is
a satanic cross. So you see the top like this?
Whoa.
And then you know the Freemason compass?
Yeah.
It's also this part of the Oreo, like the triangle. There's like stars and shit.
Where are the stars? Describe
right there. It makes a star.
Oh, like
out of
all
the triangles,
all
right?
corners. Fuck.
I know it seems like a coincidence, but at the same time, what would this design be?
Yeah.
This is where it gets even crazier. The word Oreo. What the fuck does that mean, bro? What the fuck does Oreo mean?
What does it mean, bro?
Where'd they come up with that name?
I don't even know.
Chips Ahoy? Chocolate chips, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter because I'm not a big fan of Oreo. So if you eat Oreos, put it down in the comments. I don't eat Oreos.
Okay, and so we have a lady walking home at night by herself, and she sees something, and oh Lord, it's the Babadook. It's the Babadook. It's the. Whether it's in a word or in a book, you can't get rid of the Babadook. He's around 6 feet tall. He wears a big black coat with his hat on his head and his fingers long and sharp. The Babadook is said to haunt whomever reads this poem. If you have any guilt or fear inside of you, he will show up in your home. As you become more and more frightened, the Babadook becomes more and more monstrous and powerful. The Babadook has the ability of shape-shifting. He can shape-shift into any human, animal, or insect. His name was Greg, and he was just 14 years old. He thought the Babadook was just a joke that him and his mom watched one night, so he went to the mirror to say the poem, the Babadook's poem. After reciting the poem in the mirror, he heard a crooked sound, the sound of Dook, but he thought his mom was messing with him. As he walked to the living room, he saw his mom in the living room passed out, thought she fell asleep. I can't say what else happened.
The detail in the Saw X trailer that you might have missed. In the trailer, they discuss that John Kramer is going to Mexico for an experimental cancer treatment. We obviously find out in the trailer that this is a scam, it's a hoax, his cancer is not really cured. But he's going to Mexico City for this treatment. And I remembered in one of the other movies, Saw 6 specifically, they discuss the idea of a cancer treatment being held outside of the country. But they don't say Mexico. I screenshot this picture from the trailer talking about the Dr. Lady's website, and it says that she's based in Norway but does international outreach programs. And sure enough, here's the clip from Saw 6.
This is a doctor in Norway. He's got a 30 to 40% success rate with gene therapy. He injects what he calls suicide genes into cancerous tumor cells. Then an inactive form.
He is then obviously denied this healthcare coverage. That's the whole point of Saw 6.
Like I said again, man, Saw X, 10 out of 10. Only if you like things like that, though, because it can get pretty gory.
Morbid Facts, Part 363. While serving a life sentence for murder, Rocky Beeman brutally murdered a fellow inmate who was serving a life sentence for essaying a 10-year-old girl. But despite this, Beeman was later given a child rapist as his cellmate, who he proceeded to brutally murder as well. He said he resented sex offenders and that killing them gave him, quote, the best feeling I've had in a long time. He also said the only way to stop him from killing them was to execute him. Beeman was eventually sentenced to death, but took his own life while on death row in 2020. Grady Stiles Jr. was born in 1937 with a rare genetic condition known as ectrodactyly, which gave him claw-like hands and feet. He became a circus performer under the name Lobster Boy, but was known to be a viciously abusive alcoholic in person. In 1978, he was convicted of murdering his daughter's fiancé on the day before their wedding. He openly confessed to the murder but wasn't sent to prison since no state institution had the resources for an inmate with his condition. Styles continued to perform until 1992 when he was murdered by a hitman hired by his wife and son.
Damn! They really wanted to get him out of there. His own wife and son murdered him. But why did he have to kill his daughter's fiance? Like, the dude was probably just chilling.
Islands that are infested by animals. Cat Island.
They never bother me.
Home to over 200 wild stray cats. Crab Island.
I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime.
Crabs, I'm guessing.
Home to more than 1 million large crabs.
1 million large crabs. Wow.
Did you see what was happening in Peru, bro? What was happening in Peru? There's a Peruvian village in the mountains that claimed they were being attacked for weeks since July 11th by 7-foot tall aliens that were dressed like the Green Goblin. They were 7 feet tall with armor and yellow eyes. This was on the news. The army was there. The cops was there. Supposedly a 15-year-old girl almost got. The locals would shoot at him, but every time they shoot, that will like deflect off. But nobody talking about this. You know what the cops said they were, bro? They said they're gold using jetpacks.
What?
First of all,
don't have jetpacks.
No, but don't get. That's what, like, I looked it up on Google. That's literally what it said. But do you think they actually like experienced something, or you think they're just?
Now, if everybody in the village is saying that, I think it's like, okay, yeah, it's for real.
Think so? They call them like skin peelers. Like a lot of the people in the village went missing, and then they found their bodies and like their like faces like peeled back.
Nah, I think it's real, bro.
I think they seen something.
Like if you told me this happened like 50, 100 years ago, I'd be like, "Word, that's another folk tale, bro." We talking about 2023, bro. They got cameras on them. They ain't lying like that.
Yeah, that is sus, and we are in 2023. We got cameras, but at the end of the same time, we're in 2023, so that means everything can be easily manipulated. So kind of like a two-edged sword. If you know anything about that Peru incident, put it down in the comments, because I'm actually interested about that. I might go look it up after this video, because I never heard about that.
Caught on camera, part 33. What the fish happened?
Bro, it looked like that Thor thing. You know when Thor uses that gateway bypass thing and he comes down to Earth? That's exactly what that looked like. That's crazy. You know, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw this bombing the other day, so we're gonna look at that. Like, let's see what that is. Yeah, this is it right here. It says, house in Arlington, Virginia explodes after police reportedly approached it with a search warrant. Damn! Hold on, let's see that again. Damn, the whole thing collapsed too. That's crazy, man. Me and my friends were talking about that. And we're like, yo, that might have been a meth lab. Like, what the hell? There's no other reason a house should or just will explode like that. And plus, the cops wanted to search it for obvious reasons, so something was going on. If you guys know anything about that, put it down in the comments.
Oh, the government has confirmed aliens. He was like an ex-US Air Force person or whatever, and he swore that they have like a UFO retrieval and like re-engineering like program. They retrieve UFOs, they've created UFOs, and they've like retrieved like biological aliens.
If they retrieved the aliens, right? The aliens that landed are definitely like the researchers. We sent somebody to the moon, we sent somebody there. We didn't send Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro. They sent like people with PhDs and like scientists.
Yeah, you know, but I don't think they came here. I feel like they've been here already.
Like just hiding it.
Either that or they might be living amongst us, man. Like, think about it as like a zoo enclosure. They make it look like their habitat and they can walk through and that the bear will never know.
So, and you know how like their food has like muscle relaxers so they don't get aggressive. Yeah. So like for us, like as we get closer, it could be the stuff we take in, like the food. Feel me? It could be like not just food, like as simple as the stuff that takes our attention.
That makes sense though, because like if you really think about like how scientists look at animals, how we research them, imagine they research us. Imagine is like dressed up as humans and just walking amongst them.
If anything, I feel like that would be the smarter option instead of them just coming down, looking at us through UFOs and dipping out, and then coming down, murdering villages and then dipping. I feel like that would be more of a wise strategy.
Wendy Williams was never the same after she ate that crow, and I'm explaining why. So if you don't know, in prime Wendy Williams days, Wendy made a bet. Basically, she was like, Kim and Kanye, they're gonna get a divorce. And if they last more than X amount of days, she would eat her words and she would eat crow. Eating crow is like a thing that people say when you talk beforehand and mess through. You kind of like eat your words. But Kim and Kanye, they lasted fasted, so she actually had to eat the crow. And I've always said when she ate that crow on live TV, it just wasn't the same with her. Now you may be wondering, well, what's so bad about eating crow? Well, eating crow is considered a bad omen in many places. Back in the day, eating crow was literally seen as a humiliation tactic, hence why it's used as an idiom to this day. Not only can eating crow be toxic for you physically, but it can also be taxing on you mentally and spiritually. Also, if you keep up with your Bible, in Leviticus, crow is being deemed as unfit to eat. Now let's take it a little deeper. When you think of a crow, what does it symbolize? Well, it's stated it symbolizes death, danger, misfortune, and illness. But it can also mean rebirth, self-reflection, and intelligence. And when you think about it, Wendy has experienced all of that. You know, after that situation, Wendy was always in some controversy. But you know, it's only so much I can put on that crow. Sometimes it's just Wendy. But Wendy leaving her husband and stepping into a new chapter, that was her rebirth period. But then after 13 years, her show ended. Due to just ongoing health issues, you know, she suffered from Graves' disease, still not getting over her mother passing away. It was a lot that went into it. But they literally dropped her show like it was a bad habit. You can't even go on YouTube and watch old Hot Topic episodes, which pisses me off. And, you know, we see Wendy, sometimes she look good, sometimes she doesn't. But when she ate that crow, I just don't think it was the same. And of course, when she told Dr. Oz she's not taking the zine because she doesn't trust it. Once she started talking about that and saying that, it was like, okay, you can keep it real and say it how you mean it with celebrity news, but you a puppet figure saying this stuff, oh, you gotta go. But I make this video with love though, because I'm a huge Wendy fan and I miss her and I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, I always knew crows brought bad luck, but I didn't know eating crow would actually also bring you bad luck. I don't know why they would make eating crow an option if that's the case. But if you have any thoughts about crows, Wendy Williams, or eating the crows, just let me know. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please like the video. Just remember that the shipping on these chains are free. You guys can check them out down in the description. Try to get one for your family for Christmas or your friend, whatever you want. Like, trust me, they'll probably appreciate it. Anyways, like the video. Thank you for watching. Peace out, boy.